Alright, welcome anime viewers. I'm Kirito with Searching for the One Piece. On today's video will be about Sword Art Online episode 22 review. Alright. Overall, go watch it. Okay? Just go watch it, but just watch it. That's it. People, it's a good anime. Despite what everyone else says, it is still enjoyable. Yes, the light novels are probably better. They're more detailed and shit, you know? But the anime is still enjoyable. It's still fucking enjoyable. I mean, for all y'all that are watching me, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen most of the Sword Art Online episodes. I mean, when he turned into that giant ram, I was geeking out on that. I was like, holy shit! I saw the shadow inside the fire tornado, and I was like, no way. You know? I was like, no way, no. And then it turned out, and I was like, oh god, Kirito, you're such a badass. You know? It's still enjoyable, especially even with this elf game now. It's still good. So go watch it. All right. So, anyways. Right now, I'll get into the episode right now. Where we leave off from last time, Kirito flies up into the sky, and he's gonna try to break through the barrier this time. And Leafa follows him. He keeps trying to break through the barrier, and Leafa's like, "Don't do it, Kirito. You can't do it. Stop it. It's impossible. You can't get any higher from here." And he's just like, "I must go." And then you see Yui going, "Mommy!" and shit. And this episode's called Grand Quest. So after the opening, we get to where we see Asuna is, and apparently she's hearing Yui. She's hearing Yui, and she's like, "Yui, Yui," and shit. And she figures out that they're below. And what she decides to do, which is pretty smart, Asuna. Good job on that part, you know, because you can't keep something like that with you, technically speaking, you know, unless you're really good at hiding it, which I highly doubt. Because I'm pretty sure Sugo's gonna realize that the card's missing and you probably took it. So if you don't have it, he can't get it. You know, they're gonna eventually find out that the card's missing, and since she was there, they're gonna think she has it. But luckily enough, she wanted to show them that she can hear them, so she decided to drop that card down there. And Kirito sees it and catches it. And Yui finds out that it's an access card for the system mainframe and shit. And they figured out that Asuna can hear them and shit. So good part on that, Asuna. Good job. That was pretty intelligent of you. Let's see. But Kirito pretty much asks Leafa where the main gate is, and she tells him. And she's like, "You can't do it by yourself. Even the best raid ever possible, something info, couldn't even do it." He was just like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "Thank you for helping me out all the time and stuff." And you see this concerning look on Leafa's face. I think it's obvious she's kind of falling in love for this guy now, which really sucks because it turns out to be the brother. So Kirito pretty much just flies to the main gate, and we get to the gate, and there's these two knight statues with swords. And as soon as he gets up to the gate, the knights put their swords right in front of the gate to block him. And that's how this quest starts. It's like it does a little open window, and it's like, do you want to try to compete for this quest and stuff? And then they allow him to get in. Now, when he goes in there, it's weird. I don't know how to describe the inside that he's at. Although, I'm wondering, this is probably since there's not that many episodes left to finish this up, I'm pretty sure this is the only level that he has to accomplish to get to where Asuna is. So, and it is a pretty hard level because there are many doors, many doors. They're not per se doors, but I mean, the things come out of them, like little knights come out of them, not little, normal sized knights come out of them and stuff. It's like a vine going up, and it's a huge. It looks like it could be like freaking It looks like it could be over 10 stories high. That's what it looks like. It looks like it could be over 10 stories high. So, and throughout this whole thing, there are like little blue circle window things, like mirrors and shit. And there's a lot of them. A lot. Like they pretty much almost cover the entire inner walls and shit. It's ridiculous. And Kirito sees the top. So yeah, this looks like it could even be more than 10 stories. I can't say exactly, but it's pretty huge. But right at the top, there's this little. You see the exit right there that he needs to get to. So he starts to fly up there, and what he sees is huge. What you see in the second opening here, when he's going through there and Leafa's right behind him, and those things right there that are exploding, those are the things that are coming at Kirito. And there's a lot of them. Just like in the opening, it's just the same amount that's in the opening that you see exploding is the amount that's in here. It's a lot. Yeah, Kirito is having a difficult time. My only problem with this was, like, why didn't you take a second sword, man? You're a two-sword style. You would think you would at least buy another sword, you know? Because there's these instances where he didn't have a sword, and he just blocked with his arm and lost some health. Which, if he had two swords, it would have been a little bit easier. It would be still hard, but I mean, it would take. He would have not lost so much life. It would have been better for him because he's not really. He's a better two-sword style. So, like, he's stronger, so he would have been able to handle it easier. I'm just should have went in there with two, man. So, what are you doing, man? So, yeah, he keeps getting cut, and you just see him remembering shit that he from SAO when he was with Asuna, and he's just going at it. He's like, and shit, you know, like he's like, I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna get to Asuna and shit, you know. It's pretty. Yeah, I was like, it's not yeah, I guess dramatic, I guess. I don't know, it just gets to you. All this, like, flashback stuff, it just gets to you. It's just like, make it, man, make it. You gotta make it. But, he keeps fighting, and there's just so many of them. And, he's almost there. He's almost there. He's getting there. And he reaches his hand out, and a light arrow, pierces through his hand. And he looks down, and there's a shitload of those motherfuckers. And they're the bows. They're the bow and arrow guys. And it's just a huge amount of them, like a whole army of bow and arrow guys shooting them simultaneously at Kirito. And I was like, shit, you ain't gonna be able to make it through that, man. That's quite obvious. When there's a shit ton like that, you won't be able to make it. You would have to be, for one thing, you would have to have two swords, and you would have to be extremely strong just to get barely any damage from that. But yeah, they shoot all their arrows simultaneously, and he's getting irritated, and he's going for it. Even though he's losing so much health, he's trying to make it up there. But evidently he dies before he could get up there. He's just sitting there talking to himself like, is this my punishment for is this my punishment for believing this world was just a game? And stuff, and he's just remembering all the shit he went through in SAO, because he was like, I thought I can overcome all the limits and rules of this world, like I always did. And then Leafa just comes in, and she's coming in to save him and shit, and it gets epic. She's dodging all these guys like crazy. And she makes it to him and grabs his flame thing, gets down. They shoot her with a few arrows, so she's like injured, really, but she's able to make it. Like, she's able to fly really fast towards the front door and gets out. And they make it out there okay, and she brings one of these. She opens up her item box and opens a potion that I guess revives someone, and she revives Kirito. And Kirito just. He comes down and he thanks her. He's like, thank you and shit. And then he just starts heading back towards the. Starts heading back towards the gate. And she's just like, she's arguing with him like, he's like, but I have to go, and he's like, and she just comes in and she just like grabs him from behind and she's like, Kirito, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen this many times before. She tells him to stop this. And this is where she's about to tell him that she loves him and she confesses to him. But then Kirito tells her that he's sorry. If he doesn't make it up there, nothing will end and nothing will begin. And I have to see her again, he says. I have to see Asuna again. He says her name, and right then, Leafa connects it together, and is like, she finally realizes it's her brother, or her, not real brother, but cousin, that she's been having feelings for. And that's where it's like, oh, when you were gonna go to this guy and shit. Cause she got heartbroken in the last episode and shit. And she's just like, she gets really depressed and shit. And she's like, I loved you, like I was in love with you, and I was like gonna betray that and give my love to this guy here, but then it turns out to be Kirito. Yeah, she's like, is that you, brother? And he's like, Sugaha? And she just logs out right then and there, and he's like, you know, and she's in her room, we see her in her room, and she just starts crying and stuff, and Kirito comes to the door, and he's like knocking, and she's like, leave me alone and shit, and she's depressed. She is really depressed. She's like, I betrayed my love for you. I was about to forget it and give it up and fall in love with Kirito-kun, which was the guy who was playing Kirito, the elf guy, which turned out to be her brother. And he's like, but we're brother and sister. And she's like, no, you know, we're not really and stuff. And she's saying like, wasn't the reason you quit kendo and started avoiding me because you knew this whole time that we weren't really brother and sister. And she was like, you're being so nice to me now and stuff. Why are you being so nice to me now? and she was happy you came back. That he came back from SAO, and she's like, I wish you would have stayed the jerk or whatever. And if he had, she wouldn't have realized she liked him and shit. And yeah, it's really sad. We don't know what's gonna happen next episode. That's pretty much the end of this. That's pretty much the end of this episode. It got really intense, so we don't know what's gonna happen now. Because there's like, so far I heard there was only supposed to be 24 episodes of Sword Art Online. So this was 22, so they only got 2 more episodes to wrap this up, unless they're gonna continue it and see how far they could get with this, you know. But yeah, it was really intense. On the next episode, episode 23, I believe it is called Bonds. The next episode is called Bonds. So I'm pretty sure most of this episode is gonna be dedicated, like it's gonna be Kirito and Suguha patching things up and shit. And at the end of the episode, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be, yeah, that's probably how they're gonna finish this. Like at least most of the episode is gonna be them patching things up, and then right at the end is when they go in there to go to they get to the front gates, and that's probably where they're gonna cut it off and say to be continued. And in the last episode, it's gonna be them fighting their way up there, getting there, saving Asuna and beating the king, fairy king and stuff. So that's probably what's gonna happen. If not, then they're gonna put more episodes and it's gonna get good and shit. So yeah, that was pretty much it. So stay tuned next week for Sword Art Online episode 23 review. For my viewers, please like, comment down below, and subscribe to me if you like my videos. I'll leave an annotation up here of this song, which is the second opening to SAO, and I'll leave the full song of this, and I'll also leave the actual opening to the anime so you can see the opening for yourself and stuff. See, other than that, I'll leave the URL in the description below for the anime episode as well, so you can check that out too. But that's pretty much it. So I'm Gears Agendo with Searching for the One Piece, and I'm out.